Hey there, my name is Claybourne Elder, and I'm the next guest On Screen and Beyond.
On Screen and Beyond, an inside look into the entertainment world featuring interviews with people from the movie, TV, and music industry, news on upcoming TV and DVD releases, and the rumor mill. And now, here's the host of On Screen and Beyond, Brian Zemrak.
Thank you for joining us for another year and another episode of On Screen and Beyond, whether you're watching or listening. And this is episode 764, and this is a show that brings you a celebrity guest from the movie, TV, or music industry, as well as keeping you updated on what's coming your way as far as remakes, sequels, prequels, and upcoming new movies, movie, TV, DVD releases, and of course, the rumor mill. And this week, Claybourne Elder, who was on Broadway and Company and was on the very popular TV series The Gilded Age as John Adams, he's going to be joining us. And I got a lot of things to talk to him about. Claybourne will be joining us in a few minutes. Stick around for that. And hope you had a great new year. And of course, Christmas and all of that stuff. And it's been, been a while, a little bit late getting out this episode. I had cold for a while, and I get this little thing that the doctor had to cut off, and so wear sunscreen if you really want to make sure that you don't get anything. So okay, but hopefully everything will work out all right. Hope you're doing good. And it seems like it's been forever since we got back together, but it's only been since Christmas actually, and it's good to be back. And looking back at 2025. We had a year of amazing guests, and I hope you're going to be checking all those out. If you have not heard all of them, be sure to go back and watch or listen to them on Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, wherever you get your podcast. Doesn't make any difference. And last year, we had a great year with a 79% increase in our audience. Okay, that's an incredible amount. A lot of that, I'm sure, is because we started doing the video version of the show, and I would assume anyways. And our top countries last year were Australia. You're coming in at number 5, and the Philippines, you were number 4, and our friends in Canada came in at number 3. Number 2, that went to our friends in the United Kingdom. And of course, the U.S. was number 1 for listeners and watchers here of On Screen and Beyond, and California as the number 1 state. So thank you all for watching and listening. Without you, and everybody else around the world, there's no show. So I want to thank you for dropping by. And be sure to follow us On Screen and Beyond on Instagram and on Facebook. If you have a suggestion, love hearing from you. I get a lot of great suggestions from people, and I try my best to see if I can get those people on. But if you have a question or want to make a suggestion, you can email me at feedback@onscreenandbeyond.com, and I'll see what I can do. Claybourne Elder coming up in a few minutes. But first, we have a peek at remakes, sequels, and prequels right here on Screen and Beyond.
Please hang up and try again.
Remake, sequels, and prequels. February 6th, you can look for The Strangers Chapter 3 to arrive in theaters. And The Odyssey is getting a retelling in theaters on July 7th. And it's going to be, of course, from Christopher Nolan. And it stars Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway, Robert Pattinson. Big cast. And it's a retelling of that classic tale, The Odyssey. And Catherine Hahn is in talks to play Mother Gothel in Disney's live-action version of Tangled. And it looks like the sheep is back. Shaun the Sheep, the Beast of Mossy Bottom. The third film in the franchise will hit U.S. theaters this fall. And 28 years later, The Bone Temple lands in theaters on January 16th. And that's it for remakes, sequels, and prequels. Coming up next on Screen and Beyond, we have upcoming new movies. Upcoming new movies, The Bluff from producers Joe and Anthony Russo. One of them was past guest here on Screen and Beyond. Comes to Prime Video on February 25th as a skilled ex-female pirate's tranquil life is shattered as her vengeful former captain returns into her life. And it looks like on January 23rd in theaters, Chris Pratt and Rebecca Ferguson star in Mercy as a detective in the future has 90 minutes to prove his innocence in the murder of his wife to an AI judge. And Jason Segel, John C. Reilly, and Amy Madigan will star in Sponsor. This is a new thriller from Apple Original Films. And that's it for upcoming new movies. Get ready for movies and TV on DVD and streaming. Movies and TV on DVD and streaming. Diane Keaton's directorial debut, Heaven, has been digitally restored in HD, and it will be arriving in a limited edition Blu-ray and on video on demand and digital on February 10th. And it looks like January 8th on Prime Video, you can look for The Wrecking Crew with Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista. It's an action comedy about two estranged half-brothers with a score to settle. And The Black Phone 2 will show up on Peacock on January 16th. And it looks like Dexter Resurrection, great show, the complete first season, comes to Blu-ray and DVD on February 17th. That's it for movies and TV on DVD and streaming. Coming up next, TV and entertainment time. TV and entertainment time. The Pit has been renewed for a third season over at HBO Max. And Austin Nichols of 2025's I Know What You Did Last Summer and the 6888 has joined the cast of The Rainmaker. And that's season 2 for that show. It's a good show. And The Real Time with Bill Maher has been renewed by HBO for 2 more seasons. And that's it for TV and entertainment time. Coming up next on Screen and Beyond, from Broadway and TV's The Gilded Age, Claybourne Elder, next right here on Screen and Beyond. Today on Screen and Beyond, our guest is a Grammy-nominated Broadway and TV star. He was recently on the popular TV show The Gilded Age and has been seen on Broadway in the Tony Award-winning revival of Company, also in Bonnie and Clyde, Torch Song, and so much more. His TV credits include FBI, The Carrie Diaries, among others, and he has a solo album out called If the Stars Were Mine. He will be performing at the Orinda Theater in Orinda, California on Sunday, February 1st. It's Claybourne Elder. Claybourne, welcome to On Screen and Beyond.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. There's so many things I want to talk to you about.
Great.
But just to start off, for any listeners that want to know more about your background, how did you get into acting or on stage work and TV, everything that you've done? I mean, it's how did you come about that?
When I was a kid, I was playing the violin, so I was really interested in music for a long time. And I had a violin teacher that I'd been waiting to get violin lessons with for years. I'd been studying for 12 years. And I had one lesson with this teacher, and he said, "You'll never be very good. Your hands are too big." I was crushed. And I kind of was like, I thought I was going to be a violinist. I was like, oh my gosh, is this what I want to do? And that was the first year I did a musical at my middle school, and I fell in love. And then I moved to New York. I studied acting in Russia and Moscow, and then I got a degree from the University of Utah. I decided I was going to give it a year in New York just to see, what could happen. I didn't have an agent. I didn't know anybody in New York. And I came, and I was going to these open call auditions, with like 200 other people that look vaguely like me every time. And I went to this one audition, and it was for Stephen Sondheim's last new musical at the time. And it was called Roadshow at the Public Theater. And I went to the audition, and they called me back, and they called me back, and they called me back. And I was like, this is really nice, but I'm never going to get this job. It was Gavin Creel had been playing it in the show before me. And I got the job. It was my first, and it was almost exactly a year to the day that I moved to New York. I got my first job. And from there, I got agents, and then I was on a TV show called The Carrie Diaries for a little while, and then started doing Broadway. And Gilded Age and Company, and now here we are.
Yeah. Now that's pretty gutsy though to just head to New York, no agent like you say, and it's like, how do you even know what you're doing? I mean, do you have to have an agent? I mean,
Yeah. I mean, geez, as a like you know, I think of it now and I'm like, wow, I really had some guts. What was I doing? Like the chances of failure were so high. But, I'm so glad I did. And I think that the most important thing for me, I think because there was so little chance I was going to make it, like I didn't go to a fancy performing arts college. I didn't, there was no like, well, Claybourne Elder, you're going to make it big. I was just some kid from Utah off the street. And so I think that because of that, I took a lot of pressure off of myself and was like, well, I don't know. If anything good happens, it'll be great. It'll be so amazing to me.
yeah. And that's
If
the
I'm
thing.
holding the spear in the back of a show on Broadway, I'd be like, yes.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's the thing. A lot of times, if you don't know what you're doing, you're better off because
No way.
you're not worrying about, oh, I should have been doing this or that because you know what you're supposed to be doing. But when you don't know what you're doing, you do what you want and they see, the real person in you, I guess.
Yeah, and I think it has helped me throughout my career as well, just in that like I the myth of making it, which is like, oh, well, I've been on Broadway. Now I'll be on Broadway forever, or or on TV or whatever it is. I think that it has allowed me to be kind of buoyant because with the ups and downs of the business, which are many, because again, like there's just no reason I should have made it at all. So I'm just feel lucky to have done anything. And I feel I love what I do very, very much. And whether it's like in a tiny little theater in some random place in Ohio, or if it's on Broadway, I love it. And I feel so lucky that I get to do it still.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, the first time that you got a role on TV,
Yeah.
uh, how did that come about? You said the Carrie Diaries,
Yeah.
I mean, how did you feel?
Oh my gosh, I'll never forget that phone call. Because again, it was a like, well, I'm never gonna get this. It was like a, just a returning kind of guest star. It was to like be the love interest of one of the women on the show. And I was like, that's not gonna happen. And and I got the call and I was like, it was my first time on TV ever. And I remember filming that first day, being like, like in theater, I've done community theater. I was like, I know how theater works.
Mhm.
You don't do TV till you do TV. It's like, so I didn't know how to work on camera. I didn't know what they were saying. I didn't know what we were doing. I was like, this is terrifying. I was not great. Was not very good those first few days, but I got better, Um, and it's, working on TV and working or up in front of a camera and working on stage it's like, it's the same toolbox. You're just using it in a slightly different way. And I do love working in front of a camera a lot, but there's just nothing like being with an audience. That will always be my first love.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had a lot of different people on who do stage work and also TV, movies, things like that. And they all say the same, no matter how big a star they were, they say the stage is different. I mean, I presume it's because of that immediate response that
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah. And it's happening there. You can't go back and do it again. You've got one chance to do it. You're living the thing in real time. And there's just nothing quite as thrilling. Yeah, and the relationship with an audience, having them there to like it or hate it or anything, just the extra character, which is them out there with you, is having that experience together rather than by yourself or with a few people in front of a camera is just the best.
Yeah.
It's the
Now,
best.
when you're on stage, are there times when people don't get the joke or the emotion that you're trying to get and does it bring you, not bring you down too much, but I mean, do you say, why aren't they getting this?
Yeah. When I started doing more comedy, which I do a lot of comedy now and storytelling and stand-up things, I really had to get used to that. You do have to it's something I talk a lot about when I teach master classes, which is that it's like unless you're doing something that might get a bad reaction at some point, maybe you're not being quite brave enough. Like those are the things that make a performance thrilling is like the risks we take. And I don't mean being totally crazy, like you play the rules of the game,
Right.
but there are things you can do. I mean, speaking of this show I'm coming to do, there are like I tell jokes in it that I'm like, sometimes they work, sometimes an audience does not get them, but I tell them anyway, and I keep going.
Mhm.
Um, because yeah, that's what that's the thrilling part of it is like, oh my gosh, are they gonna like it? Are they gonna hate it? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. But
But
as far as myself, I love it when a performer is singing on stage or whatever, and they don't just sing, 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 sing. I like when you talk and it makes the audience feel a part of you. They know you better, even though they don't really know you, but it's still a
yeah,
more, brings you together more.
I totally agree. And I think that in this style of performance, which is kind of cabaret, like solo performance, I love it so much as an art form because it's a fun, like a great chance to sing all the songs you love, yes. But also, you get to put them in whatever context you want by telling a story, talking about your life, talking about anything. And for that reason, I love doing it. I love doing it so much.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Allie Ewalt, and I am on Screen and Beyond.
Now, as far as performers, singers, because you have a new album out, right?
Well, it hasn't come out yet. It comes out at the end of March.
The
We're
end of
just
March.
finishing it up
Okay.
right now. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So you're just so many things, TV, stage, and you're a singer and everything. But were there any people who were, impressed you that you wanted to be a singer also?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, a lot of the people I grew up listening to sing, Gavin Creel, Mark Kudish, Stephen Pasquale, like these people that really are. It's funny because as we get older, our age difference is not that much, like excuse me. But um but I moved to New York later in my life. Like I remember being, I mean, gosh, that show I was telling you about, Road Show, the Stephen Sondheim show. I remember they did it out of town in Chicago in one version of it, and then they rewrote it and brought it to New York. And I was in the New York version. But they had recorded a cast album called Bounce in Chicago, and I remember buying that album and listening. I remember when I heard Gavin Creel singing the song. I can tell you where I was on the road in Utah driving when I listened to that song for the first time. And you could have never told me that the next time they recorded that song, I would be the one singing it. I would have
Mm.
never believed you, ever, even in a million years. But it's funny. There are big, huge, famous stars that I'll work with that don't intimidate me at all. And then there are like people that might not be huge stars, but like I looked up to and continue to look up to so much that I cannot act normal around. Because I'm just like, I listened to you my entire life. Like you taught me how to sing. There's people, even Audra McDonald as well. Like I will never act normal around her because she's too awesome.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, those people that you like look up to and respect. So there, lots of people, most of them theater artists or crossover theater, TV, film artists. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
lots of them.
Now, as far as your album that's coming out,
Yeah.
what type of music do you do in it? I understand that the title song
Yeah.
is a song that means something special to you.
It is, yeah. It's called "If the Stars Were Mine," and that's what the album is called as well. And it's a song, it's a lullaby that I've been singing to my son his whole life. And the songs in the show actually are a lot of this, or on the album are a lot of the songs I'm going to sing in this show as well. It's sort of the recorded version of this show, but with a big band. And there are three or four different songs traded in and out. But yeah, that's what it is.
Hmm. Yeah. So this is your first solo album, correct?
It is. Yeah.
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 So that's got to be a thrill in itself, just, putting that out.
It is. It's one of those things I've dreamed of doing my whole life. And you know what? It's scary to do because if people don't like it, you're the only one, like it's you. So it's your music, it's you singing, it's clearly you're the one who like chose the things, you know. When I sing on cast albums, you know, it's somebody else
Right.
chooses what takes, somebody else decides how it's done. I just sing, or I've sung on a couple of little albums, like, and but this is the first time where it's all me. And I've had
Mhm.
a hard time like with the people who are helping me produce it because they'll be like, which one do you like or what do you like? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not used to being asked. This is hard, you know.
Right. They
Um,
usually tell you, you do this and sing.
yeah. And there was one point where I was like, oh, who like should I make an album? Who's going to listen to it? You know, like why would you do that, Clay? You know, a little bit. I started kind of the self-doubt monster. And somebody said to me, you know, your son will have that for the rest of his life and beyond. That'll
Exactly.
exist. And I was like, yep, you're right. Never mind. I'm in. I'm doing it. Let's do it. You know?
But you got to remember, Clayton, uh, a lot of people are not saying, criticizing the album. What they're probably the most criticism you're going to get is, why did it take you so long?
Oh, it's
That's the thing you
very
got to
nice.
remember.
That's very nice of you. Thank you.
So, but yeah, it's great that that's coming out. I thought it was already out, but
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, it's close. We kind of have moved the date. It was going to come out a little sooner, but actually I was working on a musical with the Indigo Girls, and I was talking to Emily from the Indigo Girls about my album, and I was like, yeah, like I feel like I just need to like rush it and get it done. And she was like, whoa, 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 no, don't rush it. Like take your time, do it right, get it how you want it. Take your time. And I was like, why would I? Who's in a hurry? You know, like nobody's. Of course, I should take my time. So I pushed back the release date about a month and a half so that I could have some more time to work on it, record additional things and stuff. And now I'm so proud of it. I'm so proud of the work everybody did on it, and you know what we all made together is really exciting to me. And I just this morning I was listening to some of the final versions of the tracks, and I was like, oh, I can't believe I get to do this. This is so fun. So
Did you write any of the songs?
I didn't. They're all it's all it's musical theater, jazz, and then reimagined pop songs.
Hmm.
So it does kind of run the gamut. Like it's all sorts of musical things. And I was very like when I first presented the list of tracks to the mixer and all the people, they were like, "Wow, this is like a wide variety. There's like a country song. There's a Whitney Houston song. There's a, you know." And I was like, "Yeah, it's sort of like being inside my head. It's all the things, it's all the things I am." And all songs that I really love. I love every single one of them.
Yeah, that's great. And it's more personal. It's you.
Yeah, 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 for sure.
Hi there. I'm Melissa Manchester, and I'm on screen and beyond.
Of course, we're going to talk a little bit more about the Orinda show, which you
Yeah,
mentioned that you sing a lot of the songs from your album, which is great.
yeah.
But have you been out to Orinda at all?
No, I haven't. It's my first time. I performed in wine country and in San Francisco in the past several years, but I've never been out there before.
The theaters are beautiful. I mean, they're that old style. Granted, they're not. I mean, you can't compare it to like the theaters in New York for Broadway, but they are. It's a smaller version of those. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
When I saw a picture of the theater, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this place is beautiful.
It
It's such a
is.
beautiful center." Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
The Gilded Age.
Yeah.
Like, if I didn't talk about it, people would, they'd haul me out in the woods somewhere.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, how did you get that part of John Adams?
Yeah. So I had auditioned actually for Oscar, the guy who was my lover on the show. I had
Mhm.
auditioned for that role um like 6 months before they were starting production. And I auditioned, I didn't get any word about it. So I was like, oh, I just didn't get it, you know? And then they called me, it was like 4 months later, maybe 3 months later. They were like, we have this other role that we're interested in you for. And at the time, I was in rehearsals for Company on Broadway.
Mhm.
And so I was like, oh my God, I like had to get out of rehearsals to go to this audition. So I was like, yes, I definitely want to audition for this but can I just give me a minute? I need to see if I can get out of rehearsal for a company. And they came back and they were like, well, we were just going to offer you the role in the room anyway. You don't need to come in. You just have it if you want it. And I was like, oh,
Wow.
okay. So I went in, I ended up going in to meet with the director and stuff. And he was like, yeah, we were going to give it to you anyway, but it's really nice to me. You just never know. It's like I did one audition and for something else entirely. And they were like, well, he's not right for that, but we know he's right for that. And then you end up with,
Wow.
which is actually what happened in Company as well. In Company, I had auditioned for Jamie, who Matt Doyle played, and then they told I had callbacks for that show, but they told me that after they saw me for the first audition, they pointed to me and were like, "That's the guy who's going to play that role, who's going to play Andy." And I was, so they made the decision about it from something else entirely.
Mm.
It's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah. Now, when you got the part,
Yeah.
did you know what was going to? I don't want to give too much away in case somebody
Yeah.
hasn't watched it.
I know.
But did you know what was happening through the whole thing, or did they just give you a small, segment of it and say, this is what we're doing right now?
Usually when I learned this working on this show, because I'd never worked like this on a show before, but they had like 4 seasons of the show planned, sort of. Like it changes,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I think that it's just part of the process of like getting the show made. They show like here's what could happen over the course of 4 seasons or so. And so I knew possibility, like that it was possible what was happening and stuff, but I didn't know until we got, and I also didn't know when it was going to happen, if it was going to happen. So I didn't know until we started the third season, what was going, I didn't know for sure,
Yep.
what was going to happen until the third season.
Yeah. So how was it working on the set?
So fun. It was like going to a family reunion. It was like theater camp, I mean, it was so fun to be with all these people who either we'd worked together before or we've known each other from other things, or like it's such a small community, Broadway, that like we all sort of knew each other, and even if you didn't know somebody, you knew that they were a Broadway person, and so it was like, hey, how are you, like, let's get in here and do this together. It was so fun. It's been a blast. I love those people so much.
Yeah. We got so many things that you've talked about. I mean, your album, your Broadway, your TV, the Gilded Age. Now, I understand you also are going to be in an off-Broadway show called the Wild Party.
Yes, yeah, at City Center Encores. This is my third show I've done at Encores. I also did uh, uh, Do I Hear a Waltz? And then the Broadway production of Sunday in the Park with George that I was in started at Encores. So it's quick. You rehearse for 2 weeks, you perform for 2 weeks, but it's like a 2 week long Broadway show essentially. The cast is like a big Broadway cast, and they put on a big full production. And sometimes they're doing it to like try shows out for Broadway, and sometimes they're just doing shows that don't get done very often. In this case, this is a show that just doesn't get done very often. I don't think they're eyeing it for Broadway. Who knows? But yeah, I'm so excited. It's a great show. It's a great
great cast too.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah.
In
fact, one of the performers who are going to be in it, Megan Murphy.
Yeah.
She's also going to be in on I don't know, March 1st.
Yeah.
A month later from you is going to be performing at the Orinda Theater also.
Yes, I just found that out. They just told me about it.
Yeah.
I haven't met her yet, but I'm so excited.
Yeah. Yeah. You always wondered, do you know all these people? Adriana Warren and Jasmine and everybody else. You always wonder.
Yeah, I know. Like I've never met Adrian. Jasmine and I sat next to each other at a dinner, like several months ago, and kind of became friends. Like we had a blast just sitting and chatting together, and we didn't know that we were going to do the show together. And then like a couple weeks later, the news came out that we were both going to do the show together, and I was like, oh my gosh, we just met. We're going to work together. I just went and saw her in Putnam County Spelling Bee as well, off Broadway this last week, which was so good. She's so good in it.
Like you say, there's so much stuff that you have going on. Now, if you hadn't become an actor or singer or TV person, and all that other stuff, what do you think you would be doing?
This is a great question. I think I really love cooking. I worked at a bakery when I was in college for a little while. I love cooking and baking very much. And there's part of me that's like, and maybe even in my later life, like if I retire from acting, maybe I'll go like move to some small town and open a bakery and a coffee shop and just bake bread. Because I do love it. It's very like meditative to me, the
Mhm.
process of it. So maybe that. Probably I would be a baker.
But Claiborne, don't tell people that you're going to leave acting because they you've got fans out there that they don't want to even hear that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now that you're into theater, and
Yeah.
like I say, that is on a Sunday, and that's
Yes.
February 1st,
Yes.
and I'm not even sure of the time. I didn't write that down.
I
So
actually don't know either. I think it's
yeah,
in the evening. I think it's at
yeah, yeah,
7. But
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's early evening. Yeah, the audience there. I mean, you are right there in front of them. It's very intimate. I think you're going to really enjoy that.
I'm so excited. It is my favorite. It's my favorite kind of performing these days. I love it.
Yeah, and people should know that there are only 5 tickets left. So
I know.
if you want to go, get on the stick because you got to get it soon. But there is going to be a waiting list that they can get on. That happens all the time. People can't show up, and they'll have other tickets available. So they got to get moving on that, though.
Yeah. And I know I just talked to a couple of friends of mine out there who didn't have tickets yet. So some of those tickets are already going to be gone.
Yeah, it just goes so quick. I mean, people want to see great performances like you and all the others that perform there, and be up close and personal. Now, after the show, do you mingle with people, or do you just have
Yeah.
to leave or
I
something?
No, I'll stay. I stay and I usually sign. I usually have posters for sale or thing, and we'll come and sign. And yeah, yeah. So I'm there afterwards.
Yeah. Now, do you have any pictures that people ask you to sign pictures of you as in the Gilded Age?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, they're always surprising things. Sometimes people will bring playbills from like off Broadway shows I did when I was 26 that I'm like, I didn't
Where
even
do
know
they
it
get
still
these?
existed. Yeah. Where did you get this? People bring surprising things and stuff to sign or things that are fun. That's nice.
Yeah, yeah. People just enjoy, you know, getting to meet the person and be closer to them, and
Yeah. Yeah.
that's nice.
You like it too. I mean, I enjoy it. Sometimes I'll get messages from people on Instagram or something where they'll like comment on a picture that they'll say like, "Oh, I saw you today walking down the street and I almost said hi, but I didn't." I'm always like, "Say hi. That's fine. Like I'm friendly. Because I don't mind it, you know."
Well, Claybourne, I want to finish up with one final question.
Okay.
Maybe two, but just a quick question. When you sit back and relax, what are you watching on TV? What do you enjoy as far as movies and as far as TV? What's your favorite TV shows now and of the past, and what's your favorite TV shows and movies from the
Yeah.
past?
I am a huge fan of Arrested Development and like Arrested Development, The Office, Parks and Rec. Those comedies just I love those people and those are things that I will rewatch. I'm also right now I love Severance. I know we're in between seasons, but Severance is like a show that I just love. Um, uh, let's see. Oh, I also just saw Blue Moon, the movie. Ethan Hawke. It's about uh Hart, Rogers and Hart. So good. Andrew Scott is so good in it. That was one of my favorite movies this year. Um, yeah, those are some things I've been watching lately. And then I watch like Great British Baking Show. My son and I love the Great British Baking Show or like Christmas baking shows. We could watch those all day.
And since you're a baker, you
I do.
probably can make some of those things.
Yeah. It's fun for us to watch them and then we like often we'll go bake things together.
Yeah, I don't understand how they can make not on that baking show, but some of those other ones, the Christmas or Halloween bake off, and they get these things that are amazing. They look real, I don't know how these people,
Crazy
they're
things.
artists.
Yeah. Though hyper realistic ones, I'm like,
Yeah.
how is that food? It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Claybourne, like I said, people Sunday, February 1st at the Orinda Theater in Orinda, California. Should be definitely going out to look at you and hear you perform stuff from your album and everything else. And, thank you so much for taking the time and sharing with us.
Yeah, of course. It's my pleasure. Thank you.
There you go. The first episode of 2026, and we have a lot more coming your way in 2026. I hope you'll be joining us throughout the year and also checking out all of our over 750 past episodes. Hope you'll enjoy them. So subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, or, check us out at onscreenandbeyond.com, and be sure to tell a friend about On Screen and Beyond. Helps us all out. And that's it. That's a wrap for this episode of On Screen and Beyond. So until next time, when we once again take you on screen and beyond, I'm Brian Zemrak. Take care.